Right, off for a little adventure today, just have a wander around. It's flower season. Look at all the flowers there. Isn't that nice? There's loads of those. Clover as well, lots of clover. Bees like the clover, that's really good. There's loads of these blue ones around as well. Definitely flower season. Get up into some of the high meadows and it's like this. It's like really cool. Yeah. Certainly a good day for a walk. Can't odds that. Right, I'll do a little bit more when I get down the trail here because I've got a feeling I'm going to be full on in the sun here in a minute. But I will do some more in a moment. These purple ones, I don't know what these are. There's loads and loads of these. They're everywhere. Really cool. Yeah. Right, I'll do some more in a minute. And oh, these bushes I like. These are honeysuckle. These smell so good. These bushes here, these smell so good. Do this. Oh, yummy. Yeah. Right. I will head on down this way and do a little bit more later. Right. I will head on down the trail. I just stopped to clear a bit of brush off the side here, and then I saw that. I don't know how many times I've taken that picture. Absolutely stunning. Look at that. Right. Well, I'm heading this way. Looks like we had a few horses down through here. There quite often is. There's a lot of people come horse riding down through here. And there's a big meadow coming up. Once we get into that meadow, quite often I see quite a bit of wildlife. So I'll have a look. Let's see if I can spot any deer. They usually spot me long before I spot them. Let's put my all these tools away. I can't use those. This meadow down in here is good. Only thing is, once I break the tree line here, everything down in this meadow can see me and I can't see it. Saw a wolf down in here once. About half a kilometre further down the trail from here. And, that was always interesting. Amazing animals to watch. Oh, yeah, I see. Over on the side, towards the right of this trail, there is a lone poplar stood there, and stood right by the bottom of it are two deer. Oh, there he goes. See him? Off out into the woods there. Gone. That's where I need my zoom camera. Yeah. If this doesn't make for a good start of the day, I'm really not quite sure what does. I met a guy, he was hitchhiking coming out of Calgary there. And this guy couldn't walk too well. But I picked him up, dropped him off up at the reserve there. But, yeah, nice guy. His name was Morley. Yeah. Interesting guy to talk to. Yeah. I found out the pronunciation for the thing is Menisni. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Lovely. I like that. Very nice. Yeah. Yeah. Morley Reserve is not called Morley anymore. It's called Menisni, which apparently means ice water. I didn't know that. I've been trying to find out how to pronounce that correctly for some time, because it looks like mini tiny on the sign, but apparently it's pronounced Menisni. So I'll take that as good. Yeah, that whitetail went off into the woods here somewhere, just off on this side. So I guarantee it'll still be there somewhere. It'll be watching me. I won't be able to see it, but it'll be watching me. Now, believe it or not, this track that I'm walking down, this was actually once the main road all the way down into this area many moons ago. Yeah, that deer went off in there somewhere. I guarantee it's still in there. Guarantee it. It was stood by this tree here. Crows are letting everybody know I'm here. Yeah, that deer was stood right by this tree here and went off over in there somewhere. But if that is not a good view, I have no idea what is. Let's just do a quick 360 here. Nice, eh? Yeah. Now I've got a dilemma. Whenever I do this trial, I usually go around clockwise. I was wondering whether I should be a rebel and go around anti-clockwise. There's no advantage either way. The elevation gain through here is still fairly minimal. That mountain there, that's Yates Mountain. I have a sneaking suspicion there'll be a whole schwack of people up there today. That one right in front of me is Baldy. Once I break the trees here a little bit. Ooh, there's some dark cloud coming up. This time of the year you've got to be really careful, because it'll say in the weather forecast, you know, blazing sunshine all day. But always make sure you got your wet weather gear with you. You've got a tarp with you if you can, and some rope. Because in Calgary the other day, we got hit with one of their typical this time of the year thunderstorms. And they're very rarely in the forecast, and they just appear out of nowhere, and they can be quite brutal. So, look at all the flowers. Look at all this. Yeah, lovely, isn't it? Look at that. Very nice. Those Susans are everywhere. Yeah. You get up on top of some of the high meadows at the moment, and the flowers will be absolutely stunning. Yeah. See the cloud forming over the mountains there, look. That's the stuff you've got to watch for, because you look in the forecast and you think, oh, it's fantastic, and you'd be amazed how quickly that can turn into a big thunderstorm. Yeah. I do have my battery pack with me today, my big one, and if I get the contemplation rock, I may just sit there for a while and see if the cloud will build and do a time lapse there, see if that'll work. Right, I'm going to stop waffling and just enjoy this day. Look at that. Shadow people back. Hi, shadow people. Sound of the birds and that, absolutely amazing. As is that view. Look at that. I'll take that. That cloud's moving fast. Yeah, it's coming from over that way. So, yeah, let's see how I get on. Quite amazing how nature reclaims everything, isn't it? Hard to believe this used to be a main road once. Now it's just a little track. In actual fact, if it wasn't for the horses coming through here all the time, this would be pretty much overgrown. I think that horse came through here fairly regularly, or recently. Yeah. The reason I've turned the camera back on again, it's off to my left. I don't know if you heard that. There's a hawk over in there somewhere. It's hunting. That. Sometimes you get to see him. Yep, just off over where those trees are over there. Those little trees never used to be there. used to be a cabin there, and used to make films up in here. They still do. They still use it as a film shoot location, because it's, as you can see, it's a pretty good location. And I can't remember what year it was, but where I'm stood now, all throughout this whole meadow, both sides and down the other way, all the way down through, there was 10,000 scouts in here. They did a big scout jamboree here. And it, some people call it Scouts Field. But you see that hawk up there? I can see, oh, there he is. I see him. He's right in the sun. You won't be able to see him, I shouldn't think. I can see him. Yeah, he's hunting something. Hear that? Yeah. They do that. Makes the prey move. Because their eyesight is very much, same as ours, it's very much linked to movement. We see movement more than we see detail. So we have humans have two kinds of eyesight. We have our peripheral eyesight, and then there's the focused eyesight in the middle. A lot of animals don't have that. Oh, look at that cloud coming up over there. Wow. There'll be a lot of people probably heading up Yamnuska today. That's that big flat wall mountain in the front there. There'll be a lot of people heading up there today, I should think. But looking at that cloud, I don't think that's the mountain I'd want to be stood on top of today. No, thank you. When we get a storm come through, we had one hit Calgary the other day, and it was only supposed to be a minor storm. Holy crap. I can't remember how many lightning strikes a minute there was, but it was insane. And the flooding, roads all get flooded, and everything's getting just well beat up with hail and all kinds of stuff. So you have to be careful. I call them stampede storms, because as soon as it comes up for stampede time, that's when the storms turn up. Yeah. Right, let me get back in this little bit of shade here. Look at the shade, beautiful. Now just down here, a little bit further up, there's another big meadow. And that's where I saw that wolf that time. So let's see if I can see any wildlife when I get to that one. Now this is more my kind of forest. Unfortunately, they do have horses come through here. Horses create these ridiculous ruts. I hate horse ruts. But they always follow the same path. A few years ago I did some clearing on a trail up through here, which is where I'm heading now. I'm heading up to that side. See if I can find that side trail. So I cleared that one out a few years ago, but I haven't been up there since. But if this doesn't make for a nice forest walk, I don't know what does. Somebody brought horses down through here either this morning or late yesterday. There was a lot of very fresh horse poop down through here. A lot of fresh track too. It rained a few days ago, and these tracks are still got defined edges. When it rains, the tracks lose their edges, lose the definition in the track. So if you see tracks like this, I can even see the nail marks in the horse prints. I can even see the nail marks where the shoes are put on. So once it's rained on those a couple of times, you can't see that detail. So that was definitely either first thing this morning or last thing last night. The trail I want goes off to the side here somewhere. Should be coming up. One good thing with the horses, they do keep the trails open. Horses are very good at redistributing nutrients. All part of the cycle. I didn't bring my pole with me today, my walking pole. That was a mistake. I like to do that first thing in the morning because you get all the cobwebs. That's my cobweb tool. It gets rid of the cobwebs. I just saw a young lady on a bicycle with a dog heading down through the trail there. Don't often see too many people down in this way. But it's not a bad cycle route because the elevation gain is quite reasonable. And most people only cycle down to the river, splash around in the river a bit, which is what I suspect she's going to do with the dog, and then cycle back up. The trail I want goes up over this hill here onto my right, very shortly here somewhere. The horse people do keep the trails clear, so I'll give them that. Usually down in here they'll bring a chainsaw around with them earlier in the year. Makes my job easier. Yeah. Oh, I need to turn right here in a minute, otherwise I'm going to be at the end of the meadow. There's another trail that goes off at the end of the meadow, and that one's not a very pleasant one. That's up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So the one I'm looking for is just down here somewhere. Right, let me put this away until I find it. Found it. That was the location I did down there when I did the Katana Boy 500 video. Yeah. Usually when I return to a site, I find more trees down in the same place. And that one, there wasn't. It is good. This trail up through here doesn't get much foot traffic. So quite often I find a lot of deadfall up in here. I just like to walk the trails that are less walked, basically. It avoids all the millions of people, because I'm sure today at the mountains there'll be millions of people milling around. Beautiful day. This is more my place to be. Now this is much nicer indeed. A little soft in places. We had some rain, which is good. Oh, that fell off of somebody's horse. Somebody will be looking for that. So I will turn that into an ornament. That can live right there. A tree ornament. Most people have Christmas decorations. We have stirrups. Somebody got back. They were mad when they lost that, I should think. Yeah. Right. Now, up through here, I'm going to be quiet, turn this off. Up through here, this is all moraines. This is all glacial moraines that dumped all this stuff in here. Up over the next hill, I've seen a lot of deer up in there. So I'll turn this off and keep quiet until I get up there. Well, my walk continues. It's very pleasant down through here. The sun is still really nice. I will take that. This is my kind of trail. Let's just clear some of these junipers. They grow so fast. They in one season they will close off a trail. So every time I see those, I just nip a little bit off them. Don't want to cut it all back. I just want to trim the ends off. Yeah. Cut those off. Done. Done. Yeah. Right. They're quite a bit, as I said, back there for looking for deer and stuff. There was no deer in there. So up in here it's a bit more open. But if that is not a nice forest of cobwebs everywhere. Absolutely fantastic, all glistening in the sun. It's great, isn't it? Right, I will continue on down that way. And that's more my idea of deadfall clearing. I would clear those off the trail all day. It took 2 seconds to move that one. High enough to be a pain in the rear end, not short enough to step over. My rule is if I can walk underneath them really easy, don't worry about them. If they make good animal crossings for squirrels and stuff. So that, as a general rule, half of these I remember cutting all these out there the other year. These are the ones that I cut out 2 years ago, you know, I guess. Yeah, probably 2 years ago. I should be coming up to another cross trail here shortly. But, I cleared a whole bunch over here. But, looks like somebody's been up in here with a chainsaw since, so that's good. Looks like we've had some big ones down in here. Like I say, oh yeah, somebody cleared that one out. There was a very big one up the end there. I cleared that one out last year. And this one up here, I cleared out as well. Yeah, I cleared these out and that one. And this should take me back out to clearing. I have a choice coming up here. There's an old road crossing. That road I was telling you about before, Stony Trail. That, I'm about to cross it up here. Oh, clouds building. Now I'm out the forest, I can see it. Look at that. Now I have a choice. This piece here, this is where I suspect that young lady will be riding a bike, up around here. This is the old road. This, believe it or not, is Stony Trail Road. Goes right through there. Now I don't know whether to go round that way or cut across. Oh, dilemmas, eh? It's always dilemmas. The trouble is, there's so many great trails in here. Like you could literally walk a different trail in here all week and not walk the same trail twice. So that's the main road. This is Stony Trail. I don't think I'm going to go that way. I think I'll cut across. There's a nice little cut across trail here. It adds about 1 kilometre to my total trip, but I ain't worried about that. How much this all grew back. I cut a whole bunch of this off the other year because you couldn't even see the end of this trail. This trail was so overgrown you couldn't actually see the end of this trail. I missed it once. I was coming through clearing, so I will head on down this way. Do some more. Oh, look at the butterfly. There's a butterfly on the Susan there. Very nice, Susan. Right, I'm going to head down through that way, head down towards the river. Well, my walk continues. And, this is why I come to places like this. Look at this. You see how faint the trail is getting. That's why I like to walk these trails. You'd be surprised. Just walking through, clearing up some deadfall, cutting off a few loose ends. Helps keep the trail well marked. A lot of people like trails like this, but up through here there are so many deer trails. You can end up going off in all kinds of different directions. To me, that's how you find interesting places. You go here, there and everywhere, just explore, you know. That's what it's all about. There's a lot of wild horse crap in here as well. Oop. I can tell you now, I ain't cutting this tree out of it. I will step over that one. Oh, if I had my big saw with me, I'd take that one out, but I don't have my big saw with me, so I will leave that for the moment and carry on that way. There aren't too many openings in this forest where you get a good view along this stretch, but this is one of them. Isn't that a nice view, eh? Take that. That is very nice. Yeah, that is a great view. Right, I'm not too far from the river, so be a nice place. There's a place I know a little bit further up here that's got a nice rock on a corner. And that rock has got my name on it right out now for a nice cup of tea. I'm heading on that way. Well, coming out the trees, you can hear that river down there. She's flowing good. She really is flowing good. Yeah. Be some people kayaking down there today, I should think. Usually is on a day like today. I'll take that one off there. Somebody broke that branch. I'm just going to cut that one off nice and neat. Yeah. Very nice. Well, this piece of trail turned out fairly good. I laid a couple of trees down on the side of this. This was all falling to pieces, this corner. But I laid this big tree down in the side of here. It's kind of, now it's supporting the trail quite nicely. Excellent. Oh yeah. The river's flowing down there. Woo. Noisy, isn't it? That down through there, you can Anascus Valley. Right, I'm going to put this away a bit until I get up to my corner. Nice aspen forest right next to a raging river. That never grows old, eh? Listen to that. Oh yeah. That is cool. Only came here last minute, trying to decide on where to go. But, I thought, haven't been here for a while, let's walk this trail. Glad I did. Very nice. I do like the aspen forest. They're nice in winter, but this time of the year you get the slightest breeze come through these trees. They sound amazing. But the river's probably drowning out everything. That's a great sound. I can listen to that all day. Right, let's move on a bit and head up to my corner because I'm getting hungry. There's a couple of uphill ploddy bits on this trail, but not many. Unfortunately, this is one of them. Oh. It's loose rock too. But, one step forward, 6 steps back. However, once you get to here, oh, that makes it all worthwhile, eh? Look at that. There's a river down the bottom. It's flowing pretty good. Right. I'm going to head round roughly straight ahead of me through the trees. There's another corner like this. That's where I'm heading. Don't care what anybody says, that's a great sound, eh? It's actually a fairly long way down to the river from there. There's a place I know just to the right of there that's used to be a nice little place to hang out, but it's all overgrown now and I don't bother clearing in there because it doesn't really go anywhere anymore now. So I don't clear that part of the trail anymore. The juniper stuff is a pain in the rear end. It really is. It's prickly too. You grab hold of that stuff, you know you got hold of it. I tell you. Yeah. I'll just trim bits off. It keeps the trail open. There's a couple of big pines up in here last year that I had to clear out. But like I say, usually where I clear trees out, you come back the following year and you find even more in the same spot. But this year, looking fairly good so far around here. Like I say, that first part of the trail looks like somebody had been through there with a chainsaw, so that was good. Nice of them. Usually the horse people, because they come up through here and they do horse rides and stuff. So to get into the season they have to kind of do a walk around, make sure the trails are actually rideable. This trail along here doesn't tend to get too many horses. They tend to cut through the middle on what was the old Stony Trail road. It's easier on the horses. It's pretty much a straight line through the middle of that piece of forest. It makes a nice big loop for them. Yeah. I'll take this over the city any day. I was going to go downtown and do some downtown pictures because it's Canada Day. And I thought, oh okay, let me just check on transit. Normally transit's free on Canada Day. No, can't find no information whatsoever. The website's absolute garbage and there's absolutely nothing about free transit. So I thought, oh well. And then driving, it says one page says parking is free, another page says it's not. So I thought, oh well, stop that. Not playing that game. I'll head out in the mountains and enjoy my day on the trail. Yeah, so there's another trail that used to go off to my side there. I don't clear that anymore. And just up through here, there used to be another trail that went off to the right through here as well. But I don't clear those anymore now. We don't need 60 million trails going to the same place. This one works perfectly well. Let's take the end off of that one. A tree fell over. Yeah, there used to be a trail, believe it or not, that went straight off through there, right next to this big tree. But I don't clear that one anymore. There's a perfectly good trail around this way. Right, I will continue on up and see if anything is left of the old cabin. Butterflies and the flowers are just amazing, eh? Look at this. I do like this time of year. Look at it. Oh, these yellow ones are. Oh dear. Here's one of the other short up sections. Doesn't matter which trail I go on, it's always up. Ooh, that's a nasty rock. I see big round rocks like that on the trail, I kick them off. But, ankle busters as I call them. Right. This corner up here, one of my favourite corners. I'll show you why in just a second. You get to walk through some very nice aspen forest. I can still hear the river off to the side. And just up through here is why I've come here today. This is somewhere I like to be. You'll see why in a minute. There's a round rock that can go. That's why, look at that. And just off to the side here, and that's why I like to come here. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Now, depending on the sunshine, there's two places I sit here. Either on this rock, or for a view. That's it. Or I'm going to sit today is over here. This rock here. This rock has my name on it. This rock is Contemplation Rock. Yeah, right. I'm going to get set up, sit down, have a cup of tea, and basically enjoy it. Look at that for a view. That's why I sit here, eh? Isn't that nice? Right, let's get sorted. Right. This is why I like Contemplation Rock. If that is not a perfectly good chair, oh my goodness. First things first, I'm hungry. Nice and good stock. Oh, and a cup of tea. Stay there. This is a good place to stop for tea. It really is. Oh, and that's hot too. I made that a good few hours ago. So still too hot to just blow down. So. Cheers, people. Welcome to Canada Day. This is Canada Day 2023. Certainly a good place to sit. There's a very nice rock over here. I've sat on this rock before. It's not quite as easy to sit on, it's a little bit taller. That one out there, that's Contemplation Rock. Easy to see why, eh? So I will sit here. Oh, there we go. That is good. Yeah, can't possibly sit there without my feet up and a cup of tea. Canada Day 2023. Happy birthday, Canada. Yeah. All down through there. That whole valley that you can see up through there used to be stripped of trees. People think, you know, this forest has been here forever. If you look at the pictures here from the Second World War, there was actually an internment camp down there. There was a POW camp down there. Yep, in that big flat area, flattish looking area that you can see there. There was a POW camp in there. And now it's all forest, which people think have been there forever, but it hasn't. That's what I say. A certain amount, you need forest management. We need trees to make stuff, you know. Trees are good. We got a lot of uses for trees. The important thing is to make sure that they're replanted. And under Canadian law, they have to be. Yeah. All those areas that you can see out there, those light green areas, that's all replant. Yeah. That corridor up through there and off round to the left. Yeah, that's somewhere that you tend to find a lot of wildlife in that up in there. So, yep, cheers people. Great cup of tea and a great place to sit and drink it. Not that I'm biased at all, but that was an extremely well made cup of tea. Yeah, that's a steep hill down there. I have been down there. You can actually get down to the bottom here on the rocks, and if the river's down you can actually get across the river, but that's quite the flow to get across there when it's like this, so not something you really want to try. Yes, clouds are doing very nice, eh? Yeah, I'll take that. Very nice indeed. Right, I'm going to have another cup of tea and enjoy the sight. I just heard a deer coming up the hill. I've sat here before now and watched the bear go along the bottom of that hill. So I was just making sure it was a deer and not a bear. But it is a deer. And off down through the trees down the bottom there somewhere. Right, I'm going to have another cup of tea before heading on. Well, Mr. Contemplation Rock, thank you once again for providing me somewhere to sit and enjoy that. Look at it. Bloody amazing. What's that? Take that any day of the week. I can sit and look at this. See, this is me. This is what I like to do. I come all the way out here. My whole goal for this trip to this particular place was to sit on that rock and have a cup of tea. Most people need huge amounts of exciting stuff going on in their lives. I don't. Look at the aspens down there, blowing in the wind. Wind's starting to pick up. Oh, listen to that. Oh, yes please, I will take that. Oh, that is a nice breeze. Yeah, on a hot day, trust me, that breeze is very, very welcome. -30 stood here with a breeze like that. That's not quite so welcome. That'll drop the temperature down really, really fast. You get down into -40s, -50s at that rate. Be freezing pretty quick. But, yeah. Look at the aspens all moving. Stunning. I'll try it out of here. This is pretty much halfway point. So this is where you get to make a decision. I can go back the way I came, or I can go this way. But if I go this way, there's a bit of an old cabin up in here. I don't know who built this thing. But, yeah. But I will continue on down here. What a great spot to stop for a cup of tea, eh? Hard to beat it. Literally 2 seconds off the corner and you're back into this again. Right, I will put this away and do some more a bit further down. Right, this is actually a side trail. This is not actually the trail. The actual trail goes off to the side, but this is where the old cabin is. And, every year I come up in here, this thing's falling down more and more. Not sure who built this. Used to be an old pair of boots hanging up here. Actually, I should have bought that stirrup when I hung that up here. Yeah, used to be an old pair of boots. Oh, there's a boot. Still there. Yeah. Yeah, that needs to be hanging up here somewhere. I'll see if I can find somewhere hanging that back up. Yeah. Yeah. Used to have part of a partial roof when I first came here. All that lot that's laying in the corner. Yeah, that's all collapsed. This wall on this side's falling to bits. But yeah, I'll see if I can find if that'll hang on there. Yeah, it does. Yeah. Used to be another boot. I don't know where the other boot went. There was all kinds of things hanging here. There were some horseshoes and all kinds of things. I don't know who built that. Yeah. It's been there a long time. Right. Like I say, every time I come by it's falling down. It's made out of wood. It'll soon disintegrate, you'll be surprised. Right, I will continue on my way. Ha, that's actually pretty cool. I'm glad the boot's still there. Should have bought the stirrup. Yeah, I should have hung that up there. Right, I shall head on my way. Right, this is pretty much the last corner that you get this view. So I'll do some video before heading back into the forest. I'm about to start heading north again, up through the forest this way. This is the actual trail. But, there is a shortcut that comes across by the cabin, which I've noticed a lot of people are using now. But, that's this turn off. That trail there disappears off up towards the cabin. But this one along here, I'm starting to swing around. Currently facing west. I'm going to start swinging around to the north here in a minute. That mountain up through there will be busy today. But, that's Prairie View. If you want to do an easy trail with stunning views, okay, I say easy trail. There's a few steep, like zigzags, and then there's two long sections. It's an old fire road, and it's two long sections that are fairly straight with a slow uphill all the way up to pretty much top. But I can tell you now, once you get up the top of there and you sit up on them rocks, oh yeah, that's something. There used to be a big metal radio deflector on the corner up there, the big dish thing, big flat metal thing. That was to bounce the radio waves, believe it or not, around the corner. Because they don't like travelling through the mountains. So a few years ago, they actually took that out. I did get some pictures before it went. That's good. It's part of history. That's part of the reason that I take all these pictures and do these videos and stuff like that. It's because things change. You know, you look at an area like this, down through Waterton Lakes. I did a bunch of photos and what have you down through Waterton Lakes a few years back, and then they had that massive wildfire that came up through Glacier National Park, Kino Fire or whatever it was called, and holy crap, it looks different in there now. So this is why I do this. People say, you know, why do I do this? Some people watch my videos, come along for the walk, and that's great. If they do, thanks for coming along, thanks for watching, much appreciated. A lot of people only make videos, especially on this YouTube stuff at the moment. I don't know whether it's just this social recognition thing that a lot of people do. I don't do it for that. I do it because I like to document change and take pictures like that. Look at that, that's Mount Baldy. I can actually see some tiny little things on the top of there. Now I don't know whether that's a cairn or whether those are people, because I can tell you now that is a very large mountain, and with this camera I couldn't even tell you whether they were people or not. But I can see some little lumps on the top of there. There is a cairn up the top of there, but there's not that many cairns, so I suspect some of those are people. Yeah. This is the trouble. As you get older, your eyesight turns to garbage. Close up I can't read crap. I need my reading glasses on. But in the distance, I can tell you now, if there was a mountain goat on the side of that mountain up there, that's that rocky bit that you can see, the big bit of rock. If you look just to the right of that, you'll see a cliff band. If you go up there and sit up on the tops for prairie view, that's where you're going to sit, up on the top of that rock. And I can tell you now, the view down that valley, it's absolutely stunning. And it's a kid-friendly hike too. You can go up there. You can come back down the same way that you went, or you can cut down the back of that mountain. There's a place called Jewel Pass, and that'll bring you back out towards the lake at the bottom there, Barrier Lake. But yeah, I can see little things on top of that hill over there as well, which I absolutely guarantee you are people. In fact, I just saw one move. So unless we have moving rocks, that is most definitely people. Yeah, can't see too much close up, but I can tell you from a distance I don't miss much, especially out in the mountains. You get very good at spotting things that move in the mountains, especially in bear country. Anyway, I will stop waffling. My forest, believe it or not, that I have to go through is that way, and this is really my kind of forest. I love it. Yeah, right, I will head on and do some more a bit later. Right, this is another important intersection. I've just come that way. This road here, this is the main road. This is the original Stony Trail. Oh, that doesn't look like much now. It's pretty much only used by the power companies now. There's two ways I can go from here. I can go up around this corner and along the top of that ridge, which is where I'm going to go, or I can go down the hill and along the bottom, which basically takes me to exactly the same place, but not a nicest walk, because you're basically walking down an old road. So up through here, this is Stony Trail. This is the original. If you were coming down into the Kananaskis region, like all those years ago, like war years ago, this is exactly where you'd come. This was the main road. I say main road. Look at it now. Yeah. But where I'm going to turn off, I'll show you where the original road went. This is where the horses and bikes tend to come. If people are biking down the Barrier Lake, this is they'll come down through this way. As long as they know where they're going, they'll come down through this way. If not, they'll end up over by the river. As people see it on the map and they think it's still a road, it is not. This is actually a pretty wide bit. The only reason this bit's still nice and wide is because the power companies use it. They run their vehicles up through here. But I'll show you where the actual road goes, and you'll see the difference in a minute. Yeah. So the power companies use this piece as access to all their power lines, because there's power lines run through here. And the original road, Stony Trail, is that way. As you can see, it's more like a footpath now. But this is the utility road, as I call it. They run their vehicles up here, so this is a bit of an uphill. So you've no wish to listen to me huffing and puffing up a hill. So I will do some more when I get to the top. This is the reason that this road is maintained, because of the power lines, eh? Yeah. They brushed all this lot out the other year. They literally got up in here. This was all getting really overgrown. Yeah, you could hardly see these power poles at the bottom. They were all well overgrown. But as you can see, they cleared it out now. If you come around this trail, people get to here and they're not really sure where to go. Basically, you're going to cut straight across this piece. Don't touch the power poles. I came up here one time and it was really damp, yucky day, and you could actually hear them buzzing. I'm like, bugger that. Where we want to go, straight across here. It's not a very well marked trail, I'm afraid. The horses quite often go down that way, so you'll see a trail that kind of goes that way. This is the trail you want. So you will come out in those trees over there, cut straight across this way, and over here into these trees this way. Yeah. Once you get to here, you can see it pretty clear. But other than that, it doesn't really shove up too much. A lot of people go down that way. But I don't like walking near the power poles. Yeah, sometimes you hear these things buzzing pretty good. Yeah. That's a nice picture down through there. I'll take that. Right, I'm about to head back into the forest, so I shall put this away. Yeah, as I was just saying just now, that trail where you can go left or right on the stony trail, you can go along the bottom of here. And that does tend to sit a little wet in there. There are some trails that cut off over there and go back up the Yates Mountain. That's a very nice hike up through there. But I prefer to come along the top. And there's a place that I'm heading to up here. It's called Bonsai Boulders. And if you go along the bottom, it's a real tree hop if nobody's been in there, because it's old growth forest in there and it tends to fall down a lot. And it can be a real pain to get in there from the bottom. The only problem with coming this way is at the end of here, there is a very steep downhill section that I have to do. That's a slow and steady bit, that is, I can tell you. In a rush down there, you'll break something. And again, it doesn't matter which way you go, it's a huge amount of tree hopping. So, yeah, throw that one off trail. These little round rocks, they're only about the size of baseballs, but you stand on them damn things, let me tell you, that makes a pleasant day a not very pleasant day. So I tend to kick those ones off the trail. I'm sure I could carry a lot more distance if I'd stop clearing all the rocks off the trail. However, just makes it a little bit better for the next person, and so on. Like I say, once you get up here, you're back into the forest. You can't really see a lot from here, but it's a very nice forest to walk through. Absolutely lovely down in here. And that big one can come off of that. There we go. Just be careful if there's a big hill down one side. Don't go kicking rocks off big hills, because you don't know whether there's anybody down the bottom of there. Last thing they wanted a rock in their head, and that would not make for a good day. Right, listen to that breeze. Oh, let me get up into this gap, get some of that breeze. It's very important to have a hat. I've got my hat on today, shadow people. But you don't realise it, you get that sun on the back of your head or on the back of your neck, let me tell you, it makes for a very exhausting day. And the good thing is, when you get an area like this, I just take my hat off for a bit, let that breeze hit your head. Let me tell you, oh, that feels good. Oh, that is good. That was a wild horse. There's a whole bunch of horse crap back there. Fairly fresh too. Whatever horse made that wasn't wearing shoes. I could see the hoof prints, but it wasn't wearing shoes. So We have a lot of wild horses here in Alberta, so you have to be a little bit careful of them. You can be a bit temperamental. Don't approach them. I've seen people walking up to wild horses to take pictures, like, don't. Because trust me, one of those kicks you, it'll kick you 6 weeks to next Friday, and you won't touch the ground till the middle of next week. Yeah, don't mess with wild horses. They don't like being approached. Especially if they got young as well. But I see people walking up to them to try and take pictures. Jesus Christ. That's one of the other reasons, like, I stopped going up into the national parks and what have you. Way too many tourists up there not being too smart. Everybody wants their pictures of a bear, so they'll throw food out the car window to get the bear come over. Now you've conditioned that bear to getting food from people. And that is a dangerous thing. People don't realise a 600-pound bear can tear your car to crap in about 3 seconds. I don't know if you've ever seen any of these videos where a bear gets into a car. But bears are smart. If you leave food in your car, trust me, a bear can smell it. You might think it's in a cooler in the back of your car and the windows are closed, but bear can smell it. Their sense of smell is stunning. They make a bloodhound look like a pure amateur. Yeah, and they're actually very smart. They realise that if they push on the glass with all their weight, it actually breaks. And then you see these videos of black bears climbing out of people's cars. Guarantee you there was food in there somewhere, or something that smelt really good and yummy. But don't ever do that. Don't leave attractants in your car, because a bear will find them. And you'll come back to a destroyed car. You want to see the mess they can make of a car. Absolutely horrendous. Ugh. Bloody rocks are a pain. I keep kicking them off the trail. Every year you come back, there's more. Theory is, if I keep kicking them off the trail, one at a time, there's less. I cut this tree out of here the other year. I remember cutting this one. It was a heavy little bit of tree, that one. Yeah. There's more horse crap there. This one up here I cut out as well. There was one across the trail, literally just up in front of me. Oh, it's probably 2-3 years ago. Listen to that breeze, I can hear it, but it's not making it to the ground through the forest, unfortunately. Oh, I've got a clear area coming up here in a minute, so I will stand there and cool off in the breeze. Right, that's pretty much the last look of Baldy Mountain I'll get along this section. That's Yates Mountain up through there in the forest. Like I say, there's some nice trails up through there. But, this is a fork here, left or right, doesn't really matter where you go. It takes you to exactly the same place. I'm taking my hat off at the moment, because one nice thing about wearing a hat is your head gets all hot and sweaty, and then you get to a bit like this where the breeze is blowing and your head feels like really, really cool. It's like somebody stuck your head in a bloody ice box. It's lovely. Oh yeah. Yeah, that little bit of trail there, it kind of splits left and right. Doesn't really matter. Heading dead north now. It pretty much dead north. Sun's on my back, which is why it's important to wear a hat. Now halfway down this hill, on the right hand side, there's a very steep downhill bit which takes you down to Bondi Boulders. Yeah, so this is where the other little bit trail joins. Just goes either up or over. Now, I can tell you now, this downhill bit is definitely a two hands handy job. It's actually nice if you've got poles with you, but I don't. So sometimes I bring my hiking pole with me, sometimes I don't. More so in the snow, because I'm more concerned at how deep the snow is. Like up and down hills I don't have too much trouble. Fortunately I'm still able to do that quite easily. But in the winter you can't see how deep that snow is. Could be a foot, could be 3 foot. You don't know till you step into it. Yeah, being waist high in cold snow, not good, not a good plan. Like I say though, it's an amazing forest. Look at this. You know, I've seen one other person. That was a young lady on a bicycle earlier on with her dog. And, she did let her dog off leash. there's a big open area up in there. She let her dog off leash. I wouldn't recommend it. There's a lot of coyotes, and like I say, that piece up there is where I saw that wolf. You'd be amazed how quickly a wolf or coyotes can lure your dog away. Your dog may be the best trained dog ever, and all this, I hear all these stories all the time. Oh, my dog's a really good dog, it would never run away. Trust me, coyotes, wolves, mountain lions, they know how to attract a dog. That's how they survive. You know, to a mountain lion, that's just another coyote. Mountain lion knows how to wind a coyote up enough to make it chase it, and as soon as that coyote's stupid enough to run through the bush, poof, done. Coyote's lunch. Wolves do the same thing. Right, so the down to the bottom trail is down there, but I'm not going that way. You'll see a sign here on this tree. This is an important sign. You'll see a sign that takes you down to the trail at the bottom, but I don't want to go that way. I want to go to Bonsai Boulders. So I'm actually going to cut across this way. You can see it's a fairly well worn trail, but it does get a little steep here in a moment. Yeah, these rocks down here, I don't know whether they're glacial erratics or what, but they seem to be very much out of place for where you'd expect to find them. So right, this is starting to look suitably steep. Yeah, I've got to go down there in a minute. As you can see, that's pretty steep down in there. There's a lot of deadfall usually down in here. Oh, this little pigeon step scrunches your toes into your boots. Oh. Right, so this is the turn off. That comes in off the bottom trail, and as you can see, that is steep down in there, so I'm going to put this away because I need both hands in case I fall head over tail. Let's put it that way, politely. Right, let's put this away till I get to the bottom. Right, when you get down the bottom of that steep bit, you're basically going to come to a T-junction. There you want to turn right, and luckily somebody has been up in here with a chainsaw. Look at this, nice. I've come in here a few times, been stepping over logs for most of this trail. It's old growth. It tends to get a bit beat up, especially after a very windy winter. Really windy one. A lot of deadfall. I say a lot of these trees are big old trees. A lot of old aspen in here too. That stuff tends to fall over pretty easy in a strong wind. I came through here once for some people. I said just off to the left here, there's a bunch of deer ran through. I'd seen some deer and I stopped and said, look, can you see something? And they couldn't see anything. So I clapped my hands and a couple of deer ran off, and then holy smokes, behind them there was probably about 20. I'd only seen a couple, I didn't see the rest of them, but it was literally a whole herd of deer come through here. There must have been 20 plus deer all come flying through this forest. And if you listen to how quiet that is now, that's how quiet it was when they were running through the forest. You don't even hear them. I could see them, but I couldn't hear them. Yeah. But they run quiet. That's how they survive, eh? But this is a very nice bit of trail. It's a bit higgledy-piggledy. You come up around a few more corners and brings you out. Oh, I cut those two together, yeah. It brings you out at the boulders. I'm going to sit on top of the boulders, and in my pack I have a very nice orange. So I'm having that for my lunch. My lunch is an orange today. Yeah. Went grocery shopping yesterday. Loaded up with all kinds of stuff. I've got enough food now for about 2 weeks. Easy 2 weeks. Yeah. Come on bugs, get off my nose. There you go. You can see all the cut ends of the logs. Gives you an idea of how much deadfall there is in this place. And every year it's just to pick up sticks, mess of trees. But that's what nature does, that's how it feeds the forest floor. And I can see them off to my left. I don't know whether these are glacial erratics or whether this is just an outcrop of rock or what, I don't know. But somebody built something in there. Yeah. Right, let's head across. Jump down that one. These rocks in here, as you can see, you've got to be careful because there are some holes in here. It's easy to step into a hole. And over here, I'm going to dump my pack off here in a minute, get on top of these rocks. There's one particular rock I like to sit on. This is bonsai boulders. This bit that I'm still on now by this tree, that's where I like to sit. As you can see, it's pretty cool. You can see the kids come up in here and build little camps and they pile the sticks on top of stuff and what have you. Make little places to hide. But do be careful though, this is my favourite chair. Do be careful though, because as you can see, may only be a little rock just in front of me. It looks like you can just walk down there and step across. There is actually about a 2 foot, 3 foot gap there, so be careful. This is my bench when I'm down in here. That's where I like to sit. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'll unload my pack, sit down, have an orange, and enjoy my stop here. Bonsai boulders, good place to stop for a cup of tea. Right, I'm just going to head out of this bit, head down through the gully, and head on round. Bonsai boulders are pretty cool. So you have to be a little bit careful because there are some holes in here. I'll head out of here and do some more video later. Right, on I go. Now that is what I call clever. There is no way in a million years I could climb up that rock. Nice. I know it only looks like a little rock, but I couldn't climb up that. Nice. I'm impressed. Well done. Yeah, look at that, like a mountain going straight to the top. Good job. There you go. There is absolutely no way in a million years I could climb up that thing. Yeah.
Feels good to be back out.
Doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, I'm impressed. That was good. Yeah. Well, that was quite something. I was sitting talking to those people for a while. They're doing some climbing. I have no idea how they got up there. The guy went up the rock a couple of minutes later, and he just walked up it like it was a path. I'm not sure I'd feel comfortable getting up there with ropes, let alone just free climbing it like that. But yeah, you're welcome to that. I'll stick with paths. Paths are easy. But all the way down through here, this is all bonsai boulders. All the way down through here, there's all kinds of really cool little places like this. What have you. Look at this down through here. Isn't this cool? If I can get down into that piece. Let's see if I can. To me, if I don't have 3 points of contact, I ain't climbing it. Yeah, that's real cool through there. Look, that's nice. Yeah. Yeah, this is my extent of climbing, walking around the bottom of the rocks. There ain't no way I'm climbing up over these rocks. That's pretty cool though, look at that. There's loads of these little rocks in here. Some of them might, ooh, bit of garbage. Somebody dropped the straw wrapper. Take that out of there, that doesn't belong here. Yeah. A little gap through there. Imagine that rock was once joined and the ice split it in half. Yeah. That's really cool. Oh, it was interesting talking to those people. Very nice people. Kevin and something, I can't remember her name now. Kevin and somebody. Anyway. Yeah. That is pretty cool. Yeah, I will just stick to walking around rocks. That's much easier like that, see? Just walk right round. Looks like we had an aspen down in here. When we had that out, thank goodness. Not very keen on cutting that stuff. That is really heavy wood. That stuff is heavy as hell. Right, I will head back out of here, back up along the side, and then back up the road. Once we get out in the open down here, the sun's going to get me, I think. So we'll see how we get on. Again, this is another one of these choice spots. I can either go left or right, doesn't matter. If I went straight ahead, there's actually a lake in there if I went straight ahead. But I don't want to go to the lake. So I will take the easy route. I'm going to go left. Ooh, looks like we've got another big tree down in there. Hopefully not across the trail. No, looks like it's not. That's good. Huh. People I bump into in the mountains, eh? Oh yeah, this was a big one. This is why I'm glad they invented chainsaws. There's no way I'm cutting a tree that size. Look at it. Around here, that is a pretty big tree. I ain't cutting that. I could with my big saw, but I wouldn't want to. Yeah, you got a tree like that loose, you better watch out. Right, I will head up this way and back across the meadow. I'll do some more when I get out that way. Right, walk back through here is quite nice. I always like this little bit of forest, a little bit of aspen. It's lovely. Get the wind blowing in the trees, all the leaves make the greatest sound. Lovely, isn't it? It's only a very nice walk around here. Further up here, I did this loop in winter one time, and a little bit further up around here I came a little bit unstuck in snowdrift, and I'll show you where it was. I kid you not, the snow was literally 4 foot, 4'6", something like that, and it was either an extremely long walk back around the other way, or to get across the snow I literally had to stomp away through it. That was a very long process. Down through the bottom of here, the wind had caught the snow and it acted like a snow fence, this little row of trees I'm about to go through here. And of course the leeward side of the snow, the whole damn thing just filled up with snow. You can see the trail going across the middle there. So I was already walking through snow that was about a foot, 2 foot here, and when I got to about here, I kid you not, the snow was a good 4 foot plus. And I'm like, oh crap. I could see the hill the other side, so it was just a band of snow through the bottom of here, and I thought, well, there's no way around it. I can't get around it. I tried looking through the trees, I just couldn't get around it. So I had to make a pathway across here. And it probably took me 20 minutes, half an hour just to get to this little bank over here. And I kept having to stomp forward, stomp it all down, stomp forward, stomp it all down. And it took me forever to get across here. That was hard work. Stomping through 4 foot of snow to try and make a pathway. That was not good. It started to thin out. Probably down to 2 or 3 feet where I am now. And once I started going up this hill, this whole gully piece here just filled up with snow. Once I started going up the hill I was good. But that little bit that just took me 2 minutes to cross took me probably half an hour plus. And I was exhausted by the time I got here. No snowshoes, no nothing. That was hard work. I didn't have anything I could throw in the snow and walk on it. You know, like a board or anything like that. I've done that before now. Absolutely nothing. So, yep. You never know. Snow can creep up on you real fast. But I thought, I'm not walking all the way back round, because that'd just be ridiculous. Look at that for a nice view, eh? I'll take that. And over there is Yates Mountain. There's a fire lookout on top of the mountain, I can see it. And down through here, there is a lake off to my right hand side, but not sure how much water there'll be in there. So I'll do some more when I get round to the lake. Well, there's the lake through there, and as you can see, it's pretty much mostly empty. Not a lot of water in that. It's normally up that tree line at the back there. The wet bit across the back, you could probably walk across there now. I tried that once and it got very wet in there very quick. Yeah, I reckon you could probably walk across that back piece now. That is not very much water in there at all. For this time of the year, that's actually really low. Right, I shall continue on my way. Well, this gives you an idea of how low this water is. I've been down here before now, and I've actually been stood in water. See the boat still here. There's a boat over here. Quite often this boat is tied up against the trees over there. Oh, paddle's broken. Oh. Yeah, paddle's broken. That thing's filling up with rainwater. That needs dragging out of there. Yeah, she's stuck in the mud. Not enough water in there. That needs bailing out. Yeah, that's not good. That's just going to get stuck in there. It'll fill up with water and sink. Yeah, there's a lot of water in the back there. Really gungy water too. That could do with coming out, but not going to break me back trying to pull that out. I can tell you now, that's stuck in there pretty good. Look at all this grass in here. Yeah. Yates Mountain. This is why they use this for filming. It's a fantastic spot. Just over there through what is now trees. Used to be a log cabin in there. It's called the movie cabin. But as you can see, the water's been here a while. It's a little soft in here. Needs some decent rain. Fill this back up again. Oh, dragonfly, nice. That's actually teeming with wildlife in here. Dragonflies everywhere, look at them. Hundreds of them out there, all catching the mosquitoes. Keep eating, keep eating. Yeah, those dragonflies, you see them dancing around in the air like that. They're actually pulling mosquitoes out of the air. These things will eat about 100 mosquitoes a day. So, in my book, anything that eats 100 mosquitoes a day is a good thing. So we will take that. There's a good photo. Yates Mountain and that in the background, very nice. Yeah, that boat needs coming out of there. Have to see what we can do, but not today. Yeah. Right, I shall continue on my way. That'll do for the moment. Right, I'm about to head back out across the prairie bit, as I call it. Yeah. Oh, look at the shadows on Yamnuska Mountain. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I bet the people up there today will be thinking, oh, that's nice. It's cool. It's in the shade. Right. Just along here to my right, that's where the cabin used to be. I just said there's a geocache point just up in there. There's a book in there. You used to be able to sign this little book. It's in a watertight tube, but apparently the tube is not watertight. The little message in there is basically sign your name and what have you. That's all laminated, but the book that's in there just soaked, absolutely full of water. Pencil's good, pencil works, but there's nothing to actually write your name on in there anymore. That's all got really messed up. They took out all the power lines and that. There used to be power lines down into here. They used to feed into the movie cabin, and there was an old pumping station thing out there in the middle. That's all gone now. Yeah. But look at that. Listen to that wind. I've taken my hat off now. Just let the wind get to my head. Let me tell you, that is super cool now. Yeah. Knowing how to regulate your heat is very important. When the strong sun hits me again in a minute, I'll put my hat back on, because believe it or not, having a hat on in the strong sun actually keeps you cooler. Keeps the heat off the back of your neck, off the back of your head. People don't realise how much heat goes out through your head. Look at that, eh? That's where I just come from, the back end of that forest over there. And I'm heading right across here. It's nice I've got a little bit of cloud for some of this walk across here. I'm not sure how long it's going to last. That makes it nice and cool. I was kind of dreading this bit actually, because you're right out exposed in the sunshine, and it's pretty warm across here. Used to be a pumping station thing in the middle of the ground over there. That's all been taken out. I can see the rocks where it used to be. That's all been taken out. And this across here is a very nice walk. I've no idea where the young lady on the bike went. I think she probably just went down to the river and back again, because I crossed the trail 2 or 3 times further up. I should have gone round. I'd have seen the bike tracks, but there was no bike tracks, so I guess they went down to the river and turned round again. But with a long lens, good zoom lens from here, I can see 100 pictures I can take from here. It's just amazing. That mountain over there, that's Doorjam Mountain. There's a couple of guys that I know in Calgary that do a lot of climbing. They're older than me, a pair of them, and they're up and down these mountains like a jackrabbit. And Ben, a few years ago, on his 65th birthday, they did 65 peaks. And they made a video out of it and all kinds of stuff. So if you're watching this, Ben, hats off to you, mate. I have no idea how you guys still do that. You are welcome to it. I'll stick to walking along the bottom. Way easier on the legs and the knees. Yeah. Yeah, by this tree there in the middle, there used to be a little building pumping station thing. That's all gone now. Yeah. I need to head straight across here. Fortunately, this totally inconspicuous trail that you could never follow goes exactly to where I need it to go. Like I was saying earlier in the video, this piece across here, this is where they did the scouting jamboree, and they had like 10,000 scouts from all over the world came here to do a big camp out thing. That was pretty cool. Yeah, there's a sign at the end of here, tells you all about it. Can't remember what year it was now, but it's on the sign. If I get up to the end, if I remember, I'll do a bit of video of the sign. I'm going to do a 360. Stood in the middle of this meadow. I know from the top of Yates Mountain you can see the middle of here really easy. I can actually see the building on the top of Yates. That big rocky mountain right there, there's a building on the top of it. That's the one of the fire watch things. All through the mountains down through here there's all kinds of fire watch stuff, because forest fires are a real problem. But as you can see, this year has been started off as a really bad fire season, because we didn't get much rain to start with. Everything hadn't greened up. Once everything greens up, it's usually pretty good. So I will switch this off for a bit until I'm back in the trees. This bit along here is a perfect example as to how quickly nature takes over. See all this scrub on the side of here. All the way down through here there used to be power poles, and probably 5-6 years ago they cleared all of this out. Literally, there was no scrub down either side of here, and we cut it all up, cleared it all out. Look at all this scrub, look how quickly it grows. Go back in, let's see. Look at all this. None of that was here. Literally, it was just bare ground, because there was power lines in there, and they had a great big chipper truck, and there was a mountain of chippings here. They blasted a whole bunch over into the forest, and you can still see some of the chippings here. This is a huge pile of wood chips. Look at it. This is how nature reclaims it all. This was a massive pile of wood chips. And if you look in here, look at all these hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of little conifers growing in here. But all this, all the way back to that tree line, the big trees there, that was all cleared out. It was like a mowed lawn. There was nothing growing in here other than grass. And now look at it. Little conifers popping up out of everywhere. All this honeysuckle, poplar, you name it. Nice flowers. Look at that, very nice. It's amazing how quickly nature takes over. Once people move out, nature moves back in. Absolutely stunning. A bit like that view down through there. That is a stunning view. Oh, that's a nice one. Look at that. It's still round, but cool. I like those. They're nice flowers. But look at all these little trees. Thousands of them. All the way down through here. Nature reclaimed. As soon as people move out, that's it. Nature's back in there. But it was literally nothing back to that tree line there. I'm not sure why they took the power lines out actually. They rebuilt the power lines, the big power lines over to my right. They rebuilt those. My guess is these weren't required anymore because nowadays if they're filming anything, which they still do, they still use this for filming down through here. If they're filming anything, they just bring those great big lithium pack generator thingies that they have. Bunch of crows down here getting very verbal. What's up, crows? Yeah, goodbye. Yeah. Another big one sitting up here. You'd be surprised how big those things are when you get closer. They're absolutely huge. Yeah. Yeah, I see you. Yeah. Look at the size of that guy. He's big. Yeah, I'm watching you. Yeah, I see you. They wake me up in the morning when I'm camping. Them buggers wake me up in the morning. Right, there's a big rock thing down here that tells you all about the scout camp thing. But, I'll head over to that and see what that says. I can't remember what year it was. It's bugging me now, so I need to go look it up. All the crows are getting very, very verbal for some reason. If I'm out in the mountains and the crows, there's a particular noise they make if there's anything bad around. That you can actually use the wildlife to figure out what else is around. Like if there's a bear around or whatever, yeah, they start getting very vocal. Same as the squirrels. They know the danger. Right, this up in here, there is a sign here somewhere. Oh, here we go. Right, not sure how well that will focus. July 1981 and 93. Scouts Canada came together in spirit of national unity. Yeah. 1983. 104 countries gathered here. Yeah. Look at that. That's actually amazing. There is a very nice sign there. Tells you all about it. And what I will do is I will use that as my closeout picture, and I will call that it for now. Hey, look at that. Butterfly flies right through just as I say that. Perfect. Right. I will call that it for now.